Move on to a public hearing. Number 4, a selective traffic enforcement grant to include DUI enforcement and education efforts. Welcome Sergeant Kim Slade.
Too close for me. Good evening, Honorable Mayor Harris, members of the City Council. Sergeant Kim Slade with the Yuba City Police Department. I'm currently in charge of the traffic unit. What I bring to you tonight is the Selective Traffic Enforcement Grant, which includes DUI enforcement and education efforts. This year, OTS granted us in May $83,000. The $83,000 includes equipment and overtime activities. The breakdown of the $83,000 is $53,000 in overtime costs and approximately $27,000 in equipment, and then about $2,500 in travel expenses for training. So within the grant, when I wrote the grant in January, some of the things that I asked for this year was a new message board, radar sign. So the last one we got is approximately 14 years old. So it's on the kind of wear side. So the newer one at the cost of approximately $20,000 will be with new LED technology, some imprinting that will make it so the messages are more, so you can get more characters and things like that on it. And then also we asked for the standardized radars for vehicles. We also requested some LiDARs for the traffic enforcement officers, motor officers, and then also our traditional DRE, drug recognition experts training. So typically we send 1 to 2 per year, and through the grant they pay for the travel expenses associated with that. The classes are free, but you still have to pay per diem and everything else for the officer to go. So my recommendation is obviously for City Council to adopt a resolution to accept the grant. The alternatives are obviously to not accept the grant, because this is a no city match grant, so there doesn't require any additional things on the city's behalf. And the grant runs on a federal fiscal year, so obviously it's October 1 through September 30th, not our fiscal year. So like I stated before, it's my recommendation on behalf of the Chief of Police is for this City Council to accept the grant. So, and if there's any questions.
All right, we'll go ahead and open the public hearing on the matter. The public hearing for selective traffic enforcement grant to include DUI enforcement and education efforts is now open. If there are any members of the public who would like to address the council on the issue, please step up to the podium, state your name and address for the record. Hearing no further comment on the issue, I'm closing the public hearing and bringing the matter back to council.
Well, through the mayor,
Yep.
I'd like to do staff's recommendation of selective traffic enforcement grant to include DUI enforcement and education efforts. Recommendation A, B, and C.
What's C?
Where's C?
What's C?
We don't need A, we just did A.
Oh, excuse me, B and C. Recommendations B and C.
Well, I have it right here. B and C.
The A is just the public hearing.
Yeah, so he's probably doing B and C.
A and B.
Okay.
Is it A? It's A, B, and C on mine too.
Yeah, it's A, B, and C. So.
Yeah. But the resolutions and the authorization of the supplemental appropriation from this
On
tab
the
report are
resolution
items
itself.
A and B.
All right.
Right, A and B on ours.
Mandy, do it again.
Okay.
That's on
Staff's
public.
recommendation
We're
of
looking at the
A and B.
agenda is what we're looking at.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct.
Through the mayor, just to be clear, that's the resolution authorizing the chief of police to accept the $83,000 in grant funding and to authorize the supplemental appropriation as set forth in the staff report. Is that correct?
That's correct in my recommendation.
Thank you.
Second.
All right, we finally got a first and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
And opposed, none. Thank you. Unanimous pass. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And those things are not easy to write, so good job on that.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.